CFM Radio. Gaming News.
CFM Radio. We are back.
Greetings once again on this fine Wednesday evening when us over here at Clusterfucked Media are doing CFM Radio, video game music and news.
Video game music and news. Tricks, speaking of the video games, what I gotta ask you. I went back and I went to our Twitch, twitch.tv/CFM on Twitch. Go follow us over there. And I was watching that Mega Man Legends gameplay, and brother, when are we gonna see more of that? It was so awesome. It looked so good with the upscaling.
It might take me about another week. I have a bit of competitive pinball to play in real life. But I'm going to try to get to some of that, like maybe over the weekend if I can, because I'm super stoked to keep playing Mega Man Legends on the PS1 with the Duck Station emulator, upscaling it to 4K, and it looks great, sounds great, and yeah, it's something I want to plow through and have a good time with our friends on Twitch.
Definitely, I love it personally. That upscaling on Duck Station looks fantastic. Over there on Twitch, I think I might have another stream. I might do an extra long stream. Maybe to finish off Jade Cocoon next stream. I don't think I have very much of the game left. I beat 2 of the elemental bosses and went into the Netherworld dungeons and beat 2 of the 4 elemental bosses. So I think I only need 3 bosses left in the game, and then I go into the end game portion of the game, and I'll deliberate when it comes to there. Maybe I might just show it off for what it is, because it's not anything super impressive, but it's definitely a part of the game, and it is the end game portion of the game that you can play essentially forever.
Infinitely.
Yeah, infinitely. So we'll see how that goes. Afterwards, I might start a Meteor RPG, or I might a Meteor classic RPG. Let me just say it like that. Or I might, depending on what you guys say, I'll put it up after Jade Cocoon is concluded. But I want to know what you guys think. Should I play a new Meteor RPG, continue with the RPG theater while Ben continues to trawl the Retro Gold Mine, Mr. Drix in the Mega Man Gold Mines over there? Or should I play one of these newer titles that I picked up? You know, I own Sonic Frontiers. I haven't jumped into that yet. There's a ton of new games coming out that I could hold off on, and I have not gone through the Mortal Kombat 1 story mode campaign at all. So, you know, I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of options. Old school, new school, maybe somewhere in the middle. I do have my...
Play Unicorn Overlord for days.
Dude, I'm... So, I wanted to touch on that. Let me just do it right now. Unicorn Overlord, I thought I would have a review, like a good review ready for everybody today. That's not the case, I'm sorry.
Oh no, the expectations.
It's I've gotten about like half of the map revealed. I'm like, I've got like 2 of the I've got the main area around the First Nation, all of that beat. I did the Dragon Force
all over again.
I did the Drakenheim continent, and now I'm in the Elheim continent, and like I'm like halfway through that story. I'm about to reach like the halfway climax of the elf story, and so I think that's like the first half of the game right there. So
halves.
Yeah. So I think that's about, because there's a whole other like 2 nations you can do, and then there's like the middle of the map that's the end of the game. So there's a lot in there. I want to see a couple of the payoffs of the relationships that I've been fostering. I want to.
Yes.
I really want to see a lot of the game. I haven't even seen all the unit types. I'm only renowned rank B. You know, like there's a lot more of this game that I need to mess around with. I just started really getting into
more to do.
Yeah, I just started really getting into the weeds on the tactics, like the tactics menu.
Yeah, right. Oh man,
it's really interesting.
There's so much to do in that game. You got like 10, 12 hours out of a 5-hour demo.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It was awesome. And the game is amazing. Like, right, I guess this is like impressions part 2. If you haven't picked up Unicorn Overlord and you like strategy games, you like RPG games, you like games with a good story, this is just a great game. It's definitely not for everybody. You could call it an auto battler. It has that feel, but in action, it's a lot more hands-on. It feels more hands-on. It's not actually. It just has that feeling. But because of the tactics and how you can assign them. So it's really cool. It's a really cool game. I'm really enjoying it so far. Next week I should have some more firm impressions. Even if I don't beat the game, I'll definitely have gotten deep enough into the game where I'll have touched on all the tactics, probably seen most, if not all, of the unit types. So that's really what I'm waiting for. Ooh. I don't want to be like, oh man, go out and play this game, and then have oh well, actually half the unit types are just copy paste of other units, and I don't want anything like that to blindside me. So far, it's not the case.
Yeah. Due diligence, man. Get in there, dig in. And even if it's just me, I want to know the details, and I'm going to come to you for all the hot tips on how to plow through Unicorn Overlord.
Absolutely. And hey, you know what? I'm loving it. Like you said, Drix, it is very reminiscent of Dragon Force, very reminiscent of Ogre Battle 64. If you are a fan of any of those old school console strategy RPGs, any of them, Final Fantasy Tactics, Vagrant Story, Vandal Hearts, Brigandine, any of these games, right? Any of those old school strategy RPGs, you owe it to yourself to pick up Unicorn Overlord. I don't know if people outside of the genre really would find anything good in it.
No,
honestly,
no.
Well, I don't.
It's a choosy game where you.
Well,
it's make decisions in menus and stuff.
Sure, but it also has the narrative is also in depth, and it matters who is fighting with who in a big way.
Yeah.
It's
like Persona 5 level relationships.
Yeah, and for every character in the game can have these between one another. So there's a lot to it. So you could definitely get in the weeds in that Stardew Valley style way if you like that. So there is something
element.
There's something there for people who are outside the genre, right? Like you said, there's a lot of different elements to it. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you guys next week a more firm opinion. But right now, I'm loving it. I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you're not into the idea of playing a game like Civilization or something, if you're not into 4X, if you're not into real-time strategy or whatever.
I think if
you want to put your thinking cap on, then get to it. Unicorn Overlord.
I'll say I will. The one big detail I will give Unicorn Overlord. I think that this game is actually a really good gateway drug into the genre. Because you could give this to somebody who really likes narrative-driven games. You could give this to somebody who really likes the Stardew Valley style relationship systems. You could give this to somebody who enjoys, like you said, 4X tactical style games. Because the game is a lot more fast-paced than any of those games, and it incorporates those elements of those games in a really meaningful way. So. And it rewards you for doing all those things. So, think less StarCraft or Final Fantasy Tactics, and honestly think more Yakuza Like a Dragon, and you're on that level. Like that's what I have to say about that. That's like my like big take, like because it feels like it at the end of the day, especially with how you're rewarded. But let's just get right. I will say we've got a lot of news, so we're gonna get right into it. And amidst the layoff season in the industry, it should be obvious that it will include some changes in leadership, right? You know, jobs getting lost.
Yeah.
People got to replace those jobs if they're higher up positions, right?
Yep. I mean, it should come evenly across the board, whether it's management or the rank and file.
True. And, on that note, it seems like Bungie is taking some steps to prevent further losses. According to an IGN article, the headline reads, quote, Bungie replaces marathon director amid leadership shakeup, fears of layoffs.
Huh. Yeah, some people gotta change places.
Changing places, and this article has a lot of meat on the bones. So from the article, quote, according to multiple sources familiar with the matter, Bungie is in the midst of shifting around its creative leadership on Marathon, including removing longtime Bungie designer Christopher Barrett from the game director role. IGN learned he is being replaced by former Valorant game director Joe Ziegler, who left Riot Games for Bungie in 2022. And reading further, while the upcoming Destiny 2 expansion, The Final Shape, is also being prioritized, there are growing fears and rumors that layoffs will ultimately follow its release. One person with knowledge of budgets at Bungie told me that, quote, nothing adds up, and, quote, something will need to happen to curb costs unless The Final Shape does so well to cover the gap and people can move to Marathon. And, Bungie has been a controversial developer for a while, and this report paints everything in the whole picture of the legendary Halo developer in a pretty dire light.
Yeah, I mean, other than Destiny 2 and its many expansion packs, which apparently they're still working on, like, what have they done for us gamers lately,
True. Very true, actually.
Some people are super into Destiny, but it's like, do you want to go through a RPG grind before you can be competitive at multiplayer matches and stuff?
No
so,
kidding.
I don't know. It's cool, but like, when has Bungie put out a different game? Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how well the Destiny 2 servers are doing nowadays. Like, are they packed? Are they empty? Some people are still super into it, but yeah, maybe focus on a different game, and hopefully the shift in leadership pays off and doesn't lead to more layoffs. But yeah, it sounds like they're trying to tie up a bunch of loose ends before they really commit to dropping the band hammer on employment.
Honestly too, this whole marathon thing from the article in there, it seems like the leadership change-up has also changed the direction of the game. It says in here that they switched the model from like a create your own avatar with their own loadout to like a more hero shooter focused model for Marathon, which you got the guy from Valorant in there, so that makes sense.
That must be why they got that guy.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, it's time for hero shooters. You know what I mean? And like, again, this is all really weird. It's Bungie's own thing, right? And PlayStation earlier on said in a report, in their earnings report, that Bungie actually felt like a big loss, but and that Bungie underperformed. But at the same time, you have Helldivers 2 is the shining example because it sort of goes against the grain and focuses on co-op rather than competition and competitive play.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that to me that, you know, you have Marathon and you have all these other Sony studios and they're focusing, you know, Foam Stars is out. I play it sometimes, but I'm not a Foam Stars crazy guy. Like, I didn't finish I'll say it like this. I did not finish the last season pass. So I don't understand, like, oh, another hero shooter? Let's go. Like, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem...
Yeah, what's the reason behind that? Like, why are they gung-ho on this and not what's worked before for them? Or...
Yeah, you know, it could be... you could have made... I don't know. It might be a co-op shooter. We don't know yet. But at the same time, it seems just like Bungie might be jumping the gun and trying to do, like, oh, man, Valorant is really cool. We need our own Valorant.
Yeah, I mean, there's something nice about heroes and learning all, you know, 120 of them that are in Dota or whatever, 124. But yeah, are you going to shoot each other or what? Like, who's going to play it?
Kidding.
I mean, people like working together. That's fun too. PvE is good. You know, Mass Effect 3, like, I didn't finish the story because of like the horde mode. Yeah, or there was one even in Gears of War.
Oh, true.
They had like a horde mode where you could it was you and your boys, and you just fought the onslaught of hordes that just came at you, you know? So that's a really fun mode of play. I would prefer that over like asymmetrical games where, you know, one person gets to obscurely murder everybody else.
True. Very
no
true.
offense, but yeah, Helldivers 2, man. This might be the week that I get a PS5. We'll see.
We'll see. Hey, if you end up getting it, I might just end up grabbing Helldivers 2. But you know what? Speaking of heroic, this whatever theme we got going on in the back, it definitely inspires that feeling. Drix, what do we got playing?
We have, pretty heroic. It's Golden Axe on the PS2. This song is called Death Adder.
Ooh, Death Adder, the main bad guy. Golden Axe on the PS2. CFM. We're coming at you.
Let's go.
CFM Radio. Video game news.
CFM Radio, video game news. Time for some big news, Drix.
Yes. Thank you very much. I mean, who are we if not echo chambers of publications like IGN? It's nice to have quotes from people when doing journalism.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? And IGN definitely is on a roll, Drix, because we've got something fresh off the presses from IGN.com once again. Quote, the headline is Star Wars Battlefront modder finds further evidence the classic collection uses their mod despite Aspyr promising it wouldn't.
Oof.
Yeah, and you know, it's pretty crazy to hear this report. And you know, from the article, quote, last month IGN reported on concern from the Star Wars Battlefront community sparked by the classic collection's debut trailer, which suggested the game used a mod that brought previously Xbox exclusive Battlefront 2 DLC to the PC original. In 2021, modder I Am a Shaman brought the DLC to PC, reskinning 2 existing characters to look like Kit and Asajj, He Adimundi for Kit Fisto, and Ayla Securla for Asajj Ventress. In the mod, Asajj does not hold her unique link sabers, fiber cord twin linked red lightsabers added especially for her in the DLC, in one hand, but instead wields 2 separate lightsabers, one in each hand, like Ayla does in the original game. Similarly, Kit fights like Mundi. At the time, developer Aspyr insisted the release of Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, quote, does not include any code or content that is taken from uncredited sources, telling IGN it, quote, mistakenly included, quote, content that is not in the product after capturing placeholder footage for the trailer last fall. Going to I Am Shaman's X/Twitter page confirms this, with the modder commenting, quote, seriously, at Aspyr Media, I'm beginning to feel insulted. Nintendo Switch launched with just straight up all My Hero stuff from my mod. Same glitches and bugs. We've data mined it and it's the exact same files, just using the proper lightsaber attack anims. This is before the patch. Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
I mean, this is like some real reverse plagiarism going on here. I mean, they data mined and found exactly the right files, saw exactly the same bugs. I mean,
whoa,
for all
Drix.
the modding community has done for us, you know, they're just, you know, in the name of Star Wars, take advantage of them.
Dude, this is actually pretty
Wow.
crazy because I remember this is a while back, and I don't have a source right like on hand right now, but it reminds me exactly of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2 remake that hit pretty much every console a couple years back. They were supposed to have DLC that added the cut content that was in the game code but never fully fleshed out as DLC for Knights of the Old Republic 2 for KOTOR 2, and it like later on they canceled it completely. Like they canceled the DLC completely, and like it was assumed, and it was not. I shouldn't just say assumed. It was suspected that the main reason why they canceled the DLC was because, in reality, the people who were doing the remake for KOTOR 2 were just taking a fan mod that did remake that DLC and put it into the game. They were just taking that mod and sprucing it up and putting it into the game, and that's one of the main reasons that held them back and ultimately made them cancel that project. Oof. So to see something like this go through to the final game, it's on the Switch.
Yeah. It's not a, chained together lightsaber. It's just a regular lightsaber, but still.
It's just a regular one, man. The crazy part is, Drix, I just said it. I'm going to say it a million times. They pulled all this from the Switch version. This isn't the PC version of Battlefront Classic Collection. If it was the PC version, you could be like, there could be reasonable doubt. If it was placeholder stuff, it might have not been cleaned up code, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But this is on the Switch.
Yeah, this had to have been the most streamlined code to play the Battlefront Classic Collection on.
Yeah.
Wow. Data mined, and turns out it's his.
You know what? Sometimes these data mines, they catch you red-handed.
Yeah. See right through who is the man behind the curtains.
But enough potential plagiarism from a brand new game just released last week. We got to talk about the new games that are releasing this week.
Let's do it.
And you know what, Drix? It is a hell of a week for these games. Friday, March 22nd is when all of these hit. Mark your calendars. So let's not waste time. First up, we've got... One second here. We've got Princess Peach Showtime.
It's showtime. Absolutely stoked for this one.
From the eShop page, quote, a mysterious masked villain has taken over the Sparkle Theater, and it's up to Princess Peach to save the play and the day. Take center stage with a wardrobe of show-stopping transformations in Princess Peach Showtime for Nintendo Switch. Drix, if this one's got a demo out, if you haven't played it, you definitely should. I was telling people about it last week. It's a pretty fun demo. This game, the first review came out a couple hours ago. I think it's an 8.
Okay. All right. A lot of fun.
Definitely seems so. Hey, you know what? First party Nintendo, they usually delivers, right?
Yeah, can't go wrong with one of their games that they make for their console.
Every time, every time Nintendo gets in the weeds on a project, it usually ends up pretty fantastic. So, if you got a Switch, Princess Peach Showtime this Friday, March 22nd. And next up, we have the PS5 exclusive Rise of the Ronin.
Ooh, I'm getting excited to own a PS5 soon because this one is hot. Been seeing ads on it on the regular television.
Oh,
and
nice.
Who doesn't love a nice Edo Japan piece about, when gunpowder made its debut
in the land of the rising sun. And from the PlayStation Store, quote, Japan, 1863. After 3 centuries of the Tokugawa shogunate's reign, the black ships of the West descend upon the nation's borders, and the country falls into a state of turmoil. Amidst the chaos of war, disease, and political unrest, a nameless warrior forges their own path, holding the very fate of Japan in their hands. And this is Drix. This is another one where the first reviews hit the web today, and they came from a pretty unlikely source. And when I tell you, you might be surprised. It's Famitsu.
Famitsu. Okay, giving us the Edo Japan period piece business.
Absolutely, from Japan itself. And Famitsu, for what it's worth, they gave the game a 37 out of 40. So that's pretty good. They think they say it's pretty good.
Ooh.
So
Interesting scale.
Yeah, might not be a bad one. I saw a couple previews for Rise of the Ronin and they weren't too favorable. But Famitsu coming out here saying it's a pretty good one. They say the world is very immersive, so that sounds pretty fun. Fun to me.
Yeah, sounds like Way of the Samurai on the PS2 coming back.
Oh, dude, you know what? You might have just sold me on the game.
Yeah. Bang with a gun.
Yes. And that's not the
that bit of flight mechanics in that one too. We saw in some of the previews.
Yeah, dude. Like you're on like the kite, you become the kite.
Yeah. Just goes hang gliding out of nowhere in Edo, Japan. Definitely worth checking out. And a PS5 exclusive you're gonna want to own.
If you got a PS5, you're going to want to pick it up. Rise of the Ronin, available March 22nd, this Friday. And the last game we're going to talk about is another huge one. It is Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, this one was highly recommended by a friend of the stream, Johnny Deals.
Yes.
Let's see if we can give Baldur's Gate 3 a run for its money in 2024.
Will this be anime Baldur's Gate 3? From the Steam page, quote, Dragon's Dogma 2 is a single-player, narrative-driven action RPG that challenges the players to choose their own experience, from the appearance of their arisen, their vocation, their party, how to approach different situations, and more, in a truly immersive fantasy world. And Drix, this one is for PS5, PC, and Xbox Series consoles. And again, all three of these games become available on their applicable platforms March 22nd. That's Friday.
All right, gamers are going to have a great weekend if they can pick any one of these titles up.
It seems like there's a lot of deep immersion is the theme of the weekend, Drix.
Yes, absolutely. Because, how often do you get to be immersed in the character that is Princess Peach?
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? You make a good point, Drix. But you know what? I am immersed in this insane... Oh, my God. It just hit sky-high levels. What is this track? This crazy synthy track.
Bit of a Mario block going on in celebration of Princess Peach. Before that, we had Super Mario Baseball on the GameCube, Mario Stadium. But right now, we are listening to the ending credits of Mario Tennis 64.
Oh, you know what? Mario Tennis 64, a classic. Absolutely. We're going to jam out to this one. We'll be right back with some more video game news.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
Clusterfucked Media.
CFM Radio, we are back.
And we are live. What's up, Internet? We do this every Wednesday. Let's go.
Let's go. And, you know, speaking of new hotness in video games, the Game Developers Conference GDC 2024 is going on right now, Drix. And the State of Unreal just dropped onto YouTube today.
Ooh. Yeah, Unreal is a powerful engine. Making some great stuff on that one.
Making for everywhere from video games to Hollywood. And the presentation was incredible. It showed off a lot of great developer tools and some of the awesome new capabilities of the engine, including a ton of creator-friendly streamlined tools for the community to help them in the development for every user, including within Fortnite. They went a big section of this was like, here's like all the stuff coming to Fortnite creators. They've got like the rocket racing stuff is going to be you're going to be able to edit that. They're going to give you Fall Guys stuff to edit. There's a lot. So Fortnite definitely coming
Lego
to life.
is coming to Fortnite soon.
True.
And Disney.
Lego is already in Fortnite, and absolutely we did touch on that huge Disney stake that they bought into Epic Games. So that's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. However, though, Drix, speaking of Disney, the big deal was an in-engine tech demo that is supposedly for an upcoming game, and I'm going to play that right now. It is called Marvel. Hold on, 1943, The Rise of Hydra.
Ooh. Captain America fans rejoice.
Yes,
Maybe
it is
the Red Skull makes an appearance or something.
It's actually looking like a Captain America Black Panther game. And the trailer is specifically for the story of the game, but it shows off some amazing visuals that I can't wait to see from games coming out. Any game coming out that looks like this. You're looking at the B-roll right now. It looks incredible. Like this Black Panther sequence, this Captain America, it looks insanely good, these visuals. And like I said, I don't think this is any gameplay. I think this is pretty much just a tech demo, but they say that this is a game that they're working on.
Yeah, it's coming. Don't worry, and it's coming with some new Unreal capabilities.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's sounding like it's going to be an incredibly voiced game, as good as it looks. And, you know, it takes place back in the day, 1943, Captain America, Black Panther on a like old school quest together. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things coming out of GDC. I'll make sure to take a look and grab some of the most important stuff. Bring it back for you next week. But with that, we'll move on to our final bit of news. And you know, finally, as fighting game fans, me and Drix here, we love it when the genre gets love, and it's been getting a ton of love over the last half a year, and it got a ton of love this week from the SNK, from snk-corp.co.japan directly. The US headline reads, quote, Fatalfury, City of the Wolves, SNK's newest fighting game, releases in early 2025. New trailer now online. Drix, are you ready?
Yeah. Anybody who's seen a Neo Geo cabinet in their life should be pretty stoked about this one. I mean, it's been a while since we've got King of Fighters 15. So
yes,
Yeah, this is continuing from Mark of the Wolves?
Mark of the Wolves.
Garu.
Mark of the Wolves, all the way back in 1999?
Ooh, picking up right where we left off, and I'm here for it.
From the press release, quote, Fatalfury, City of the Wolves features a unique art style that stimulates the senses, an innovative rev system that supercharges the excitement, plus a host of other battle systems even more robust than before. The game also breathes new life into the series by introducing 2 distinct control schemes, ensuring fun and excitement for newcomers and veterans alike, as well as other fresh features and elements. The streets of Southtown are a hotbed of action, wild dreams, and even wilder ambition. Here, at long last, a new legend is about to unfold. Now, from the gameplay we see here, I instantly find this all familiar.
Yeah, just about. I mean, 2D fighting. Let's do it.
We got the new systems like the Rev system, and we got how that works. You're seeing a lot of it in the B-roll. These crazy cancels into move, looking pretty crazy. But this SPG system that they're talking about, you can't see the life bars in this B-roll here, but there's a ton of first impressions on YouTube right now. This SPG system looks just like the old top system from Garu Mark of the Wolves, the previous entry we were talking about. And the game flow looks just like a more hardcore version of Garu. Almost like Garu, like they took the idea of Garu Mark of the Wolves and literally brought it into the new era by including these crazy cancels, these like super move into special move feint into special move into super move. These combos look absolutely insane, and I for one can't wait.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get side scrolling and fighting in a new edition of Fatalfury.
Not to mention the characters. The characters look fantastic. And it's a huge nostalgia trip for a guy like me, you know. Except for the new character, of course. But I'm sure she's going to be pretty awesome, too.
Yeah, no. Let's keep this golden age of fighting games going. I mean, we've got our Street Fighter, we've got our Mortal Kombat, we've got our Tekken.
Yes.
If you're going to put out another amazing fighting game, you know, apply everything you've learned from those franchises and put it out now. So yeah, SNK steps up to the plate.
SNK stepping up to the plate. I don't have it here, and I'm so sorry for the lack of the B-roll. But before we end on a high note, we're gonna end on an even higher note, because Golden Age of fighting games, we can't not mention the Dragon Ball Z or the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero gameplay reveal that came out today.
Yeah, I mean, R.I.P. Akira Toriyama. His legacy will live on. Can't wait to play Sandland. Like, so many people are going to buy that game now, because I'm surprised at how long this one is hanging out. You know.
Yeah.
It's not like these old rock stars who they weren't going to put out like a new album or anything, but no, this man was involved in a lot of projects still, and still had a lot to do, and that was cut drastically short. But let's get our spirit bombs together.
The Dragon Ball Super manga is on indefinite hiatus.
Yeah, sad news. Sad to hear that.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah, but we're still going to see a bit more releases, kind of like post-mortem Tupac over here. We're
Serious, yeah, absolutely.
A few more jams out of this guy, because we're picking up the Budokai Tenkaichi series, as it was called in the West.
As it was called in the West. I love how they made a point to say that in the broadcast. But absolutely, we're coming to the end of the show right now, and pretty smooth show, gotta say. We went from point A to point B pretty smoothly, and there's a lot of games to play. Speaking of Sandland, one of the things that I will mention really quick before we leave is that there is a Sandland playable demo, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, that you can download and play right now.
Ooh, something we might need to get into tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the main character's name is Beelzebub.
Yeah. You got
We're
your
talking demons here.
Yeah.
I think Deborah, we saw him as a Majin guy with the M on his forehead in the Dragon Ball Z anime. Like Deborah might make a cameo over here. And it reminds me of there's a couple old games for a Toriyama series called Go-Go Ackman.
Yes.
There's a Game Boy game and there's a Super Nintendo game. I really like the Super Nintendo platformer, but yeah, he looks like Trunks, but if Trunks was a demon. Yeah, I already like where Sandland is going.
Don't forget the dragon character from Sandland, or the dragon styles from Sandland, and the animal people look a lot like his designs from Tabal number 1.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, you take something like Chrono Trigger into consideration. It's like, it's all in the same universe. Why not? This is just post-apocalyptic Goku, Turtle Hermit, everything. It's all in the same universe, and it's all a good time.
Absolutely. And you know what? We hope you have had a great time with us here tonight on CFM Radio. I'm your host, Vector. Drix has been spinning for us. Drix, these tunes, impeccable.
Yeah, you're listening to a Venom track right now, the drum and bass alias, because PS1 Jungle's my thing. And I probably wouldn't be a musician without a lot of this video game music.
Hey, you know what? Video games inspiring everybody in more creative ways than anybody can even imagine. Lots of different moving pieces, always happening in your favorite video games. Music, visuals, gameplay mechanics, systems, coding, tech, all this stuff.
Experience and immersion and just the culmination of every art form, like TV you can play.
Absolutely. And you know what? We hope you guys end up playing games all through the weekend. There's a lot of great stuff coming out. A lot of great stuff came out last week. The crazy 2023 momentum has not stopped. Well into 3 months into 2024. There's a lot to play, a lot to experience. People say that we've been having dry weeks. If you've been listening to CFM Radio, you know that there hasn't been a lot of dry weeks in gaming. So thank you, everybody. Yeah, no way. There's so much going on. This industry is absolutely wild. Either way,
yes, for every layoff, there's a new teacher on the market to teach you skills. I got one of those ads recently. It was kind of great. I'm ready to sign up. Somebody who just got laid off is going to teach me how to be a game development programmer, director, engineer. Like, we're out there and we're doing it, man.
Hey, you know what?
With which to pay bills.
We could be the next generation. You never know. But what I do know is that we are out of here. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in for CFM Radio. We are here every Wednesday. Give us a sub here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, CFM, twitch.tv/CFM on Twitch. We're over on TikTok. We're over on Instagram. We're over on Facebook, Clusterfucked Media. Check us out. Drix, anything you want to plug really quick?
Yeah, man. Check us out. My band Casuist is playing in downtown Los Angeles this Sunday. And till then, I'll be jamming out. And we'll see you next Wednesday for more video game music and news on CFM Radio.
Video game music and news, CFM Radio. We're out. Have a good night.